There's some stenchers on this album.
Dude,
just wrapped around my finger.
I mean, the man must have gotten laid 1,000 times per track, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure it was awesome.
At the point, I just don't get it, man.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't come across on the music at all.
Well, I mean, it's an album that says, "Please sleep with me after the concert."
Yeah.
It's just full of sleep with me tracks. And,
it's like an album of queefs.
And you need like 1, maybe 2 per album, and you're covered.
Yeah.
You play that, know, for the encore, and
you all get wet.
Everyone's ready to go, and you don't need an album of it. I mean, half the album doesn't have to be, foreplay. Unless you're Marvin Gaye or Isaac Hayes or someone. I mean, you can't help it.
See, your CD copy has Murder by Numbers on it.
Yes.
Which wasn't on the original release. It stopped at Tea in the Sahara. Because I remember after that song ending feeling completely unfulfilled and kind of angry in 1983 when I had the, brand new LP of Synchronicity. And it was boring and ponderous, and it was an early lesson in disappointment is what it was.
Stu Copeland outshines as far as the Murder by Numbers covers.
Yeah.
When Zappa does the cover with Sting. You know what I'm talking about?
That's right.
Stu Copeland totally shows up that Zappa drummer. I'm not sure which drummer it is on the track, and I'm sure it's because they just learned it right before the show, and But
probably play it by ear.
But it's one of those. It's like if you have to pick a version, I'm going with the Police version over the Zappa version on that tune.
Yeah.
Which,
There was a jukebox at the Glen Rock Inn in the town I grew up in. And, my dad would take me to Glen Rock Inn, and I'd go to the jukebox. And they had songs by the Police and by Men at Work that I'd never heard of. And I was like, well, I didn't understand B-sides at the time. I didn't understand any of that. And so Murder by Numbers was one. I want to say Fallout was another one, but I don't think that's right.
I don't remember
I found out about Fallout in a book of sheet music that I bought when I was a kid, because it had the lyrics to all the songs on it.
Fallout.
Do you understand how fucking hard these songs were to understand? The lyrics, when these songs came out on the radio, do you understand how this mealy-mouthed motherfucker Sting, you would hear this shit, and it was like a schoolyard point of pride to know what they were saying. And you had no chance of understanding what the hell they were saying. It was coming out of radio speakers in a car or something. But I had this book. I don't remember what it was called. It had a specific name and design. And it was every song from every Police album. But it also had B-sides. And one of the B-sides was Fallout. You haven't heard Fallout?
I don't know if I have. I can't place it.
Fallout with all the leaders and guys. I don't know how to sing it. I don't know the tune. I know the lyrics. That's
and that's part of
indicative of what I'm talking about. But and I also learned a harsh lesson as far as this is what I remember as far as Murder by Numbers was when you put your quarter in the jukebox and you select your song. You have to wait until the other songs that have been selected play. And I didn't understand that, and I got pissed off and left. Maybe that's not a great story. I don't know. Maybe that's just a demonstration of how pathetic I was. Or I am.
Synchronicity does have the track Synchronicity.
There's two.
Yeah.
Synchronicity 1 and Synchronicity 2.
And they're good.
I don't care for Synchronicity 1 very much, but I like Synchronicity 2.
They can... I think they both pass my smell test.
Oh, sure. You know what's funny is on this one it says words and music by Sting on all the tracks, except for, of course, Mother and Miss Gradenko, which are Summers and Copeland, respectively. But on the other ones it just said, Sting. or Copeland. Here it says. I guess he changed his name to Sting.
What do you? Doesn't that say?
Because it just says Sting. You know, I mean, I never thought it doesn't say Gordon Sumner anywhere. I guess Gordon Sumner was. Oh no! Here, yeah, all songs, copyright 1983 GM Sumner. That's him.
There you go.
Yeah, that answers my question. Everybody knows that was his name. It's not like it's a secret.
I mean, you're not gonna pick up a phone book and find him or anything.
He played with a band in the 70s called Dead End. And when he played with this band, he wore a sweater that was striped black and yellow. And he looked like a big bee. And they called him Sting. Or I don't know who called him Sting or if he called himself that, but Sting also played the role of Fade Rotha in Dune, David Lynch's version of Dune,
okay, yeah.
1984, and he's one of the best things about it.
It's
hilarious.
I still got to read that one.
You don't have to.
I do.
It's kind of like reading the Bible.
It was recommended to me by a guy whose whose opinion I hold in high regard. You know.
I really like the fact it's the same thing as Tolkien, where
I'm not going to read Tolkien.
No, but you understand what I'm saying, where a single person creates a fiction that is mistakable for a reality. Like it has a glossary and footnotes, and you go, how deep did you go into this shit? Damn, dude. Tolkien. That's why I brought him up. He's got this whole thing that the guy who created Conan.
I know.
Robert E. Howard.
Yeah.
Had a whole mythology worked out, and it's just it's.
Well, the big one now is the J.R.R. Martin, who's got his thing going on.
I got my own beefs with that whole deal.
Well, I mean, it's just a person who doesn't value words very much. I don't think
he's a person who doesn't value people very much, and I don't know if it's. Here, I'll really go off script here. I don't know if it's Asperger's or something. I'm being serious.
Get the cough drop.
Yeah, I'm being serious. I don't know if it's Asperger's, but it doesn't. You can't create fictional characters and breathe life into them and be flippant about killing them unless you are a psychopath. And if that becomes your deal, where hey, who's gonna die next? I mean, Alfred Hitchcock did a good job with that. Where he didn't reduce the lives of the characters to nothing. He made you care if they lived or died. But I don't understand J.R.R. Martin's attitude towards his characters. I don't understand his attitude towards how he writes. I don't understand his writing.
They're all products. It's all product.
To me, that's Walmart books.
It's all
that's
product.
You go into a Walmart and you buy a J.R.R. Martin book. You want to call me a dickhead? Fine. You want to go on and on about your
They didn't have to
hear
you spew your opinion about J.R.R. Martin.
You want to get J.R.R. Martin to write me an angry email?
Oh, it would probably be like 100 pages long.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, an email wouldn't be pages.
He'd probably kill himself.
I suppose saying something is X number of pages is an old. It's going to fade out of our language.
I guess.
I don't.
I hope not, folks. If you're put off by me talking shit about
somebody
in
he's gonna tell you to get off the internet.
No, I'm not gonna say that at all.
He's gonna
say
gonna come and turn off your computer's routing
I'm saying,
devices.
What would you expect of me? Would you expect me to not be opinionated about things that are in my field? Would you expect me to be ambivalent about other creators that make a living, make a big a very fat living at creating fictional worlds and selling them? That's what it is. Make no mistake. You can get attention from a creator. Somebody might, send you a note back and say, hey, thanks for, reading my book or whatever, but it's all image. It's all bullshit. No one cares about anything you have to say unless you are buying it.
No, see, I think it's just, and I was discussing this the other day with television shows now. the problem I see with a lot of what's happening is that they are responding to what the audience is clamoring for. And it's happening with shows right now where, the storylines could go one way, but people, screech and
Yep.
and cry and,
Yep.
post their own blogs and videos and shit.
Yeah.
And, just thinking that they're entitled for the show to be a certain way for them because that's what they want. And, they had fuck all to do with it.
Who cares what you want? Why is what you want? If you got what you wanted, then fucking Frodo would ride an eagle across Mordor and drop the ring in the fucking lava. That's what you want. You want a fan service. That's
he should
for it.
No, he should get married to a hobbit or maybe an elf, and they should make beautiful babies. And
what, like Han Solo did?
I was wondering who was it. You're the first to bring it up.
Oh yeah.
I saw they're starting to play these 15-second trailers for it.
I'd twist the knife until December. I am twisting the knife.
I mean, it's just like you hear the theme music, you hear the sounds, and then it's
this fake.
They haven't done anything else with it yet. It's just 15-second spots. I just started noticing them because,
it's entirely built to play on your nostalgia.
But you fell first. You fell first. It's not about that. It's about the police.
It's about the what?
The police.
The police.
The police.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The police.
Yeah. But
and so it was three guys.
The problem with Synchronicity is that so much of it is shit.
And it wasn't about three guys anymore. It was about one ego.
It was about the police.
I think bam.
Sting.
Bam. It was about Sting.
Sting became bigger than everything.
Exactly, and he believed it too. And man, it seems to me, you talk about selling your friends out, and we can talk about that fabulous foursome, and how shit went down with them, but the police breakdown too. I mean, that's
terrible.
It's sad, man.
Really sad.
And, I mean, there wasn't even a Yoko involved. It was just an ego.
You couldn't really call her a Yoko.
I don't.
There was a woman to whom Sting wrote the majority of the shitty songs that he wrote.
Okay.
But you can't call her a Yoko.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't.
Plus, I think he got back together with her.
I mean, you can't fault a man in love either, I guess. If
I do, but you can't.
If you're in love and your gift is writing songs, okay. But, can't you just sing that in the bedroom to her?
I always get mad when other guys aren't as monastic as I am as far as their creative endeavors, when they get, a woman just totally yanks them out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man, we're fucking working. What are you doing? And he's like, hey, don't get mad, It's like, it's just not part of it. It's not. And if you look at the precedent, if you look at what ruins everything. It's
not about this, but, some of the greats, and I'm talking about a man with a mustache.
Oh, which one?
Wife and the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and when he's sitting in front of the Senate, he talks about raising the kids like he's a part of it.
Come over to the house and I'll show you what kind of toys they play with.
Exactly.
He said that.
Any minute.
This woman, a congresswoman said,
sincerity.
She said, "Well, I would kind of wonder what kind of toys your children would play with." And he said, "Well, come on over to the house. I'll show them to you." Can you imagine?
We used. Yeah, I can't.
It's like somebody saying. It's like being in a congressional hearing and somebody saying, "Does your dick smell funny?"
The police.
The police.
The police. Because that leads us down a whole nother fucking road, man.
It does.
It's because, I mean, think about the toys that they probably did play with, and think about how and think about what they would say now. Think about all the things that you can't do now.
Yeah. Zappa hated toys.